Alright, welcome back again to another Borderlands 4 video. For this one, we are going to be going over Rafa once again, and this is my take on the crit build slash one-shot build on bosses. This is quite of a varied build that you can use many different weapons and use it in many different ways, not just for boss melting, but also for mobbing and overall gameplay. Let's go over everything that you need in this video in order to play however you like. If you guys do enjoy this video, please consider dropping a like down below and remember to subscribe. The top comment is on screen right now. Huge shout out to you. For the next video, if you guys want to be the top comment, leave a comment down below. What is your favorite character to play right now? In the description below, you're also going to find a link to Mobalitics, and the full text guide for this build will be right there. Alright, so let's go ahead and begin with our skill tree, and then we're going to get into our gear and how it all ties together, because there's a few choices here and all depends on your gear that you're going to be using. So obviously we're going to use the Peacebreaker cannons, and then we're also going to put 5 points into Sitir for that gun damage, 5 points into Huerga for those action skill duration. Now for either Instinto or Bullet Body Deluxe. Now Bullet Body Deluxe is absolutely great for your boss DPS, and I'll get into why we're going to use this because of a specific weapon we're going to have on. And then also once you are mobbing or playing the game altogether, you want to go ahead and put on Instinto, just by far the best way to go for mobbing on Rafa. 2 points into Resiliencia, and then 3 points into Maestro. Next up, we're going to put 5 points into Asymmetric Warfare, 1 point into Hostile Acquisition, then 4 points into Errant Spark. We're obviously going to put on the Double Auto Shot, probably his best skill in the bottom. Next up, we are going to put 5 points into Vitroyal, 4 points into Pain Reaction, and then 1 point into Concentrated Build-Up, 3 points into Esperado. Then we're going to go ahead and put in 5 points into Barrage. Now, this is where it's going to get a little bit confusing, because Tamiario and then also Soltaro. Now, the reason why I have a bit more points into them is because of the gear that we're going to be using. We're also going to have 1 point in the Thrill, but this isn't, you don't really need this, but if you want, you can have a piece of gear that's going to have that on. So why are we going to be using the skill tree that I've just mentioned? Well, let's go ahead and now have a look at the gear that we're going to be using. Now, the 4 weapons that I recommend using, but you can use whatever you like, but I highly recommend using the Rainbow Vomits just because it's a great weapon, tons of DPS, and also a Jacob's weapon. Now, for mobbing, Rainbow Vomits and also the Hot Slugger. Either choice is pretty damn good, but the Hot Slugger is by far probably the best weapon right now for Rafa, even just altogether for any character. It's an absolute machine when it comes to not just mobbing, but even boss DPS if you want to go ahead and use it. Next up, we are going to be using the Looming Bala with that Alt Fire, the Spread Launcher. It is absolutely insane what you can do with this weapon when it comes to bossing. Now, also another great choice if you kind of want to go ahead and cheese the game to make your DPS absolutely insane, you can use a submachine gun that has the Alt Fire Taser and just, you know, glitch it out that way to have ridiculous damage. Also, you can have the Flamethrower submachine gun Alt Fire attachment that again gives a ridiculous amount of DPS, and I'll show you how to do both of them at the end of the video if you wanted to go ahead and just use a little bit of a cheesy build. You can obviously use the Kickballer as well. That just kills you, but it does one-shot bosses as well. You can go ahead and use that. And obviously the Songbird also has a stupid damage glitch that you can also do, and I'll show you that on the end of the video. So you can go ahead and use that if you wanted to use a little bit of a glitchy way to play the character. But we're going to stick with the Lumen Bala because I'm not going to use any glitches for this video. And then this is what we're going to be using, the Ceramic Bod, specifically the Torg licensed sticky magazine. Just because the Torg sticky magazine just does stupid damage, and this is why we are also going to be using this skill right here, Bullet Body Deluxe, just because we're going to get infinite ammo while we press F. The Peacebreaker cannons are active, we have infinite ammo, and I'll show you exactly how that's going to be used. For our rep kit, we are going to be using the Triple Bypass just because we have 3 charges, and it's going to constantly keep our skill up and running. Obviously, we are going to be using the Penetrator Augment Throwing Knife. If you don't have this, I do have a video up on the channel right now on how to farm this, and you can get it pretty quickly. Next up, we are going to be using the Devastating Dance, so just because we get those extra points right there, you can see them there. Obviously, we get 1 point into the Thrill, Soltado, Temerario, and also Sustainable Energy. This is just absolutely great, and it's definitely kind of needed just for that extra Soltado and Temerario. Also, we do get a 30% increase in damage and also 25% action skill cooldown rate, which is probably the way that you want to go when it comes to this build. For our shield, I highly recommend using the Fireworks, purely just because it's absolutely broken. Once you get a kill, missiles spawn and kills other people, and it also ricochets as well. So probably by far the best shield when it comes to mobbing. And lastly, we are going to be using a enhancement that has gun damage and also gun crit damage, which is probably the best way that you want to go. Also, shotgun ADS proficiency is increased by 75% because sometimes you are going to be aiming in as well with that bod. So that is where you want to go with the enhancements. Definitely something with gun damage and critical gun damage as well. My actual skill on this isn't the best, but you can definitely go ahead and get something like that, and it'll just work perfect. For our specializations, what we're going to be doing here is using in the zone just for that extra DPS on bosses. We're also going to be using now with caffeine, and then I am a gun and also a honed mind. And that is basically how it is when it comes to the gear and skills. Alright, so let me show you how we're going to be using the bod specifically against this enemy, just because he has a lot of health, and we are on Ultra Vault Hunter mode 3. So we're going to use our ult here, we're also going to use our rep kit, and then our throwing knife here, and then we're basically just going to aim in, and now we have unlimited ammo, and can be basically just blast him with a bunch of these sticky grenades, and his health is just going to get melted just like that, and he's just going to die. That is how we're going to use the bod. He gets absolutely destroyed with this build. Now, you can pretty much do that with any boss in the entire game. Literally just, once you press F, you can have unlimited ammo, and from then you can basically just shoot a bunch of these sticky grenades, and then they're just going to blow up all together and just melt the boss. So I'm going to show you exactly how to use a different weapon to melt bosses. I'll show you on this guy, and we're also going to have unlimited ammo on the Songbird. We're just going to use our abilities right here, and then basically we can just spam the boss and he is dead. And you can do this on any Ultra Vault Hunter from 1 to 5, and yeah, you can pretty much just melt any boss. So what we're going to do here is just use the Hot Slugger for our mobbing, and then we're also going to go ahead and switch to Instinto instead of the Bullet Buddy Deluxe, because we don't really need that infinite ammo when we're going to be mobbing. So what we're going to do here, but just go ahead and use our action skill, throw our throwing knife if you really wanted to, and we can just basically just run around and just one-shot everything. And then once we do kill an enemy, the Fireworks shield is basically just going to go ahead and crit everything as well, and just wipe everything completely. You don't even have to really try that hard. You can just kind of mindlessly, well, if you have better aim than I do, just go ahead and mindlessly just kill everything. That was a badass. I just got one shot. And yeah, it's pretty damn powerful, and it's probably the best build that I've used on Rafa so far. I've tried a few different things. I've moved a few things here and there, tried different armor. I've tried different gear, different skills, and this is probably by far the best way that I've found to play Rafa. Now, the way to get the Songbird to glitch out like that and able to one-shot bosses, it's really simple. All you have to do is just shoot one bullet out, or however many you want, and then all you got to do on PC is click R and then switch to another weapon and then instantly switch back. So basically the buttons will be reload and then number 3 and then number 4. So you switch to a different weapon and then switch back to the Songbird instantly, and you basically just do this for as long as you want. The longer you do it, the more powerful it's gonna be. And there's another weapon also you can use, like I mentioned before, is a submachine gun like this with flamethrower. And all you got to do with this one is basically just spam shoot the gun and also press C to change the underbarrel, and you can do this for another couple of minutes and it's gonna glitch out as well, and you can pretty much just one shot a boss like that. But the Songbird is probably your best bet, just purely because hand cannons do a lot of damage, especially with these the unlimited ammo skill tree that we've got going. You can pretty much just spam the hell out of a really powerful weapon and melt anything in the game. So yeah, I hope you guys actually enjoyed this video. Let me know down in the comments if it did work out for you guys, and tell me what your best build or what your favorite way to play Rafa is, or any other character. And hopefully I'll start making some more builds on other characters because I've got them ready, and just need to start actually playing around with them and see what works best. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next video.